Virgo, this is your energy check-in love reading. We're tuning into the person on your mind or your current situation and the energy unfolding for you right now. Let's see what wants to come through. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Virgos, please. All right, so your energy, the Seven of Wands in reverse. Your person, the Ace of Swords. They're viewing you as the Seven of Cups. Okay, pay attention to the 7-7 number sequence. Ooh, what you're not seeing is the Nine of Swords. This person may be losing sleep over you, Virgo. And we have the 10 of Swords. All right, so an ending here. But as you know, endings can lead to new beginnings, so we'll see. And we see the Moon card, Cancer, Pisces energy. So some of you could have Cancer or Pisces in your chart. What I felt when I pulled the Seven of Wands in reverse is a lot of my Virgos, you may be feeling a little bit exhausted, maybe because you've been feeling really confused. But for a lot of my Virgos, the Seven of Wands in reverse represents you, a big exhale. Letting down your guard, wanting victory, maybe also getting to a place where you're starting to feel secure, like you're achieving success, you're getting attention, you're getting reward and recognition, and you're in a place of strength, to be honest. I mean, although some of you're feeling exhausted here, but like it almost feels like you're letting down your guard. You don't want to be on edge. You don't want to walk on eggshells. You don't want to be in this defensive energy. Now with the Moon card, this could be someone here whom you have very deep secret feelings for. It could be somebody that you're admiring, or you just have very deep romantic feelings here for this person. But the Moon card can also represent a bit of a scary landscape. You can see she's kind of sinking to the bottom. It's a sensory deprivation kind of energy, right? Like everything needs to go quiet or needs to go dark so that I can just get my bearings here. The Seven of Wands in reverse. And the Seven of Swords in reverse. So pay attention to 777s here, Virgo. A lot of you're getting really clear on wanting to move on from being exhausted, feeling defensive, feeling on edge, feeling like you have to, there's constant tension. And I feel like with this Moon card, you are actually in the midst of coming into some very deep personal truths about yourself and about this connection. You're viewing this person as the Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag energy. So somebody who's very sexy, successful, passionate, attractive. Somebody who stands their ground. And you're viewing the relationship, now this is Aries, Leo, Sag energy. You're viewing the relationship as the Sun card, Leo energy. So there's still some stuff here that isn't fully clear, or there may be like a strand or threads of disappointment, but the Sun is still a relationship that makes you happy, and there's potential for growth and expansion. Now your person is making a decision here. It seems like they want a new beginning or a fresh start with you. Now that doesn't have to be a reconciliation. Like I said, it could just be, somebody that you're crushing on, or it could be a healing. But the Two of Wands in reverse also tells me that your person is doing some reflection and they're looking back here at the past. All right, let's go into the Oracle deck and see what messages, advice, and guidance we have for my Virgos. Yeah, the path to inner peace. If you are not at peace with yourself, nothing you attract will bring you peace. Check your vibe. Okay, and I actually think with the Moon card, you're in that energy. Okay, it's kind of like, let me get a handle on this. Let me just figure things out. Not everything is really clear for me right now. I'm feeling exhausted, but I also know that like I'm close to victory. You're picking and choosing your battles. So I do think that's the energy that you're in. Yeah, stand your ground, Virgo. Hold your own power and never give it away. Not everyone is there to support you. Okay, so again, I do feel like you're in this circling the wagons while you figure things out, needing a little bit of respite, needing a little bit of time to yourself, be in hermit mode, figure out what you want, what you need, how you want to proceed here. And we see initial spark, yeah, and so there's a potential in a person or situation to develop into something in the future, but how you approach it is up to you. And I feel like that's the energy that you're in, trying to figure out, how do I approach this? How do I protect my energy, but also how do I get what I want? And at the bottom of the deck, Spirit's saying all of this is extremely useful, even if it doesn't feel great in the moment, or it feels confusing, or you're in an energy of ambiguity right now, Virgo. Though it may not seem like it now, you will accomplish far more than you could ever imagine. Your story will have a happy ending. Okay? Beautiful. So, like I said, endings bring new beginnings. Your person, the Ace of Swords, they're doing a review. They're making a decision. They want this beginning with you, or this new beginning. Because like I said, not all of my Virgos is this a reconciliation, right? This could be somebody that you're crushing on, that you have secret feelings for. You've been on a date or two. But your person has been going round and round about how they feel, what they want, but they're getting the clarity that they need. And I do feel like they're going to be communicating that to you, or at least they want to. The Ten of Swords. Yeah, some of you, this person, there's been an ending between the two of you. For others of you, this person has been through a painful ending, and they're healing. They're coming out of that. Some of you too, this person is getting clarity about some negative attachments that they have, maybe with family or socially. Certain things that they do need to release is what I'm getting. Wow, they're also in the Seven of Wands energy in reverse. Your energy, Virgo. Not wanting to be in constant tension, wanting victory and success, but also picking and choosing their battles and wanting to let down their guard here. And when two people let down their guard, that's where we get vulnerability, and that's where the most clarity comes from. And the Eight of Cups in reverse, they spend a lot of time thinking about you, wondering about you, fantasizing about you, imagining this, whether it's reconciliation or coming together or a future. The Eight of Cups in reverse tells me this person wants to see you again. Okay, so whatever that might mean for you. They spend a lot, like you guys are mirroring each other, Virgo, with these cards. The Seven of Cups, they're viewing you as someone who may have a lot of options. You may be confusing or an enigma to this person at times, Virgo. But again, this to me is just them fantasizing about you, imagining, what you're up to, the good and the bad, right? I feel this person has quite an imagination. And we see the Ace of Wands in reverse. Some of you, they're worried that you're no longer passionate about them, or you're not very attracted to them. For some of you, they're worried that you are going to reject them. We see the Page of Swords. They know that you're detail-oriented, Virgo. They know that you pay attention to things that oftentimes other people don't. I also feel they know they can't get anything past you. They're not going to get anything by you. All right, so they need to be open. They need to be honest. And they know that there needs to be a conversation here, that you want that needs to take place. But this Page of Swords has a little bit of a nasty look on his face. So I do think they're a little bit worried about the reception or this conversation, how it's going to go. And we see Emperor energy, Aries, sometimes Virgo for me as a reader as well. But the Emperor energy here is telling me this person knows they need to step up. They need to meet you in this extremely high vibrational energy. All right, so yeah, they know they need to come at you correct. They know that you have boundaries. They know that you're going to make the right decision. They know that you're going to Yeah, like they know that this isn't going to be easy. I kind of feel like you're very different than whom they're used to dealing with, Virgo. I think they're used to people either making things a lot easier for them or dealing with people who aren't as grounded, decisive, intelligent, emotionally intelligent, intuitive, detail-oriented as you. All right. So with the Nine of Swords, I feel like behind the scenes, your person is really stressed. They're stressed about this ending. They're stressed about getting you back. They're stressed about getting this off the ground, whatever the situation is. And I do think they're losing sleep about this, over this. Yeah, they're losing sleep over this because they feel like you're soulmates, Virgo. And there's so much potential. They have a lot of love for you, but they're not sure if this can come together. Yeah, and they might be worried about third-party interference because they do see you get a lot of attention. You have a lot of options. And with the Three of Pentacles in reverse, they're worried that, you know, again, they won't be able to make this work, or that you're not going to be up for working this out or getting on the same page. But they sure as hell are going to try. Magician energy, Virgo, Gemini energy. All right, so this person could be a Gemini or Virgo. Aries is coming through strong. Leo as well. But they're going to try. The Magician in the upright could be when Mercury goes direct, which is on the 20th of March. But the Magician here is also an energy of somebody having all the tools that they need, getting clarity, taking action, and communicating. Now, your final outcome advice is the Ten of Swords, okay, which can be a painful ending, releasing yourself from a karmic situation, Capricorn energy. All right, if you felt like this person was a bit of a player, for example, or they were non-committal and you're not sure that, you know, this is going to work, or that this was really dysregulating for you, some of my Virgos, you are going to be choosing to move off in a different direction. And we see the Lovers card, Gemini energy, because there's a lack of clarity about whether or not this can be healed. So I feel like this is interesting energy because some of you, I mean, there may have been or be some sort of third-party interference, which would obviously be a deal breaker. But I'm also seeing that some of my Virgos, you're less sure about this relationship than you used to be. But you're more sure about what you want and what you need. This person, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, to Queen of Cups, they are coming in with a love offer. But I'm not sure if it's too little or too late. And again, for some of you, it's going to be throughout, and I'm sorry about that alarm if you can hear it in the background. For some of you, the next couple of weeks, or the next week and a half, we'll say, 10 days, you may seriously be considering an ending or moving off or being on your own. But I do feel like there's some sort of message or communication coming in around or on the time Mercury goes direct that might shift things for you. All right, let's see what we need to know about this person. What do we need to know about this person? Yeah, opposites attract. So they know that you two are very different, but also still very compatible at the same time. They may be getting readings about you or learning to trust their intuition. And this person wants commitment with you, Virgo. But it almost feels like you don't know that, right? Like you don't, they have some clarity they need to communicate. And I do think they're going to be doing that. But they have some fears and insecurities. And they're worried you're going to reject them or that you have other options. And some of my Virgos, that certainly might be the case. But I feel like there's this love offer coming in. But if they wait too long, you may move off in a different direction. And for others of you, it just might be this over the next 10 days or so where you just need to focus on you. You need to come out of this moon energy and you'll get the clarity that you need about this connection. So let's see what we need to know about this person. Meeting online. So some of you, it's an online connection, or they're going to reach out online. They're sexy, attractive, and we see judgmental. But I'm not getting like judgmental in the sense that they're harsh. I'm getting more so judgmental as making a decision once and for all to turn things around. Now, it is possible this person let some sort of third-party interference get in the way, which could be a romantic rival, which could be work, it could be bad advice from friends and family, it could be distance, it could be their ego. But I feel with the Magician card, this is them wanting to come in and make it right. Now, of course, only my Virgos are going to know if they can make it right, right? Because for some of you, you know, if they were cheating, for example, you know, that's a deal breaker. You're like, no, right? No good reader is going to tell you to try to make it right with somebody who's not honest and loyal. All right, let's see what this person wants to say to you. But your situations are going to be different. What does this person want to say to you? I replay our conversations over and over. Yes, that I can see. I bury myself in work to forget you. Okay, and they may continue to do that for another week and a half or so. And I have trouble with intimacy, being vulnerable, opening myself up to others. Okay, communicating my feelings. That's the energy I get there. All right. Now let's see if there's anything else we need to know about this person. I meant to pull these cards earlier and I forgot, and I was just reminded. Anything else we need to know about this person for my Virgos? Networker. Conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear or falsehood. Okay, I don't really get that, okay, those exact messages. But to me, this is somebody who's not a good communicator, or somebody who's having trouble communicating what's really going on with them right now. And again, be careful, because we are in Mercury retrograde, and you know, it can be that we misunderstand things, we misconstrue things, we don't communicate exactly what we want or need. So I do feel like I'm not telling you to put your life on hold. I'm not telling you to gaslight yourself, Virgo, if you already know, right? If you already know how you feel about this person, if you already know what happened and you know it can't be resolved. But I do kind of get that, like, for a lot of my Virgos, there's some value in waiting until Mercury goes direct to really make a decision or to decide what action to take. Okay, and we see detective energy, voyeurism, and falsifying information. Some of you, they do need to come clean about something. Okay, but I also get with that voyeurism energy, they're spying on you. They're spying on you, they're checking you out. And things might not be what they seem. For others of you, they do need to come clean about something. All right, Virgo, but I feel like you know already which camp they fall in. Let's see how they're viewing you. How is this person viewing my Virgos? They see you as strong. They see you as the warrior. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. I mean, all of that is Virgo. Heroism, stoicism, Virgo, and self-sacrifice and conquering the ego. So disciplined Virgo energy. All right, and seeker. Inability to commit to a path once found. This person might feel like you're not committed or you won't commit. Okay, so just be aware of that, and not to say that, maybe you won't. I mean, for some of my Virgos, you certainly might not. But for others of you, they may have been questioning your commitment here. If there was, there could be third party on your end as well. But again, you know your situation better than I do. I'm not going to go down all those rabbit holes. They're worried about rejection and whether or not you're going to commit to them or you would commit to them. All right, but there is a love offer coming in, and like I said, I do think that it's a love offer or an apology, whether you're going to accept it or not, Virgo, and most likely it will be happening once Mercury goes direct. Let's see, what else do we need to know? Waiting is no longer neutral. Silence has become a choice. Ask whether it's serving truth or protecting fear. Yeah, but I do kind of feel like that's giving yourself a time limit with silence for those of you who are in no communication with this person. And again, I like the message I'm getting from this reading is, wait till Mercury goes direct. And then, then it's no longer neutral. Okay. But of course it depends on how long they've been quiet, All right, let discomfort pass. So not every feeling requires action, but some truths do. So right now it might feel really uncomfortable. Just allow it to pass without sort of taking any action. If something needs to be said, though, say it. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, we see choose present. So stay present, stay grounded, and support what steadies you and choose that which is nurturing. Okay. So Virgos, I'm going to leave it here. I'm sending you love and light. Take care.